Okay, this is a screencast on setting up a form for your class. You have to be in Drive to do this, so I've got my Drive open. I'm going to come across to New and click on Google Forms. When you open up Forms, automatically it comes up with a standardized form to look at and ask you whether you want any different backgrounds or things like that. I'm just going to use the default one, and I'm going to title this Demo Form 1. And what that does is it comes up with a standard set out for a form. We're going to do 3 or 4 questions in here. Now I'm building this form to be able to get responses from students so I can create an automatic marking tool. So it's like a formative assessment, but you can use forms for anything in your classroom, from just getting information, for doing quick quizzes. We use it for even subject selections and things like that. So it's a very, very powerful tool, because anything that's entered into this form gets collated into a spreadsheet. Once you have it in a spreadsheet, you can manipulate the data as much as you like. But we're just going to look standardly at a simple form that's going to have 3 questions in it for your students to answer so you can mark it. That's what we're going to do. If you are a GAF school, you'll have some other settings at the top here, and they will be things like allowing only students in your environment to be able to access it and to collect their username when you do it. If you're doing this in a school, collecting a username is great because you get their email address, and if you just set it up so the school can see it, then you know that the data is coming from them and you're just getting their data. But this is different. This is my own private account, so I can do a whole lot of different things. I like having a progress form down the progress bar at the bottom, because that lets the viewer know how far they're going down the thing. For every one of these kind of formative tests that you use when you're using a form to collect data, it's really important that you collect the student name, the student email address at the beginning. So my first 3 questions are always, I click on here, go first name, and then down here I've got a choice of what kind of question I want it to be. I just want it to be a text answer. So I just want it to be first name, I want it to be their answer, and I want to make it a required question. Okay, and then you can go done. Then I have another question, so I can add item, and I go last name. Same thing, it's a text. I want it to be a required question because I want them to answer this. Go done. And then my third one, I can do the same. The other thing you can do too is that if you've got this one here, I can come across and go to duplicate, and it will duplicate the thing, the question, and I can just put email. And it keeps it as a required question as well. If you want to use this advanced settings tool, this allows you to do some data validation as it comes in. So as you can see, I can actually make sure that it's a text and I want it to be an email address. So if they don't enter an email address properly, it won't actually accept their answer. So my little error message is going to say, please enter a valid email address. Go done. So that's the same as every single form I have. I have these 3 questions at the top because I want to get that information, because I need the email address to be able to send information back to the student, and I need their names so that I can make it personal. The other thing you might want to do if you're running multiple classes is add another one, which is the teacher. We run multiple classes at the school I work at, and we have multiple teachers that use the same forms or the same formative tests, and the students just click their teacher and the email goes to the teacher as well at the end. So that's where we're heading, but I'm just going to keep it simple like this. I can now add another item. I can add anything. You can add a paragraph test question. You have tick boxes, choose from a list, multiple choice, which is one of the easiest things. You can put an image in a video. So you can even put a video in and say, watch this video and explain what happens at this time. And you can just drop that in from YouTube. If you have an image, you can put that in as well. I often put PDFs in there with graphs, so I can get the students to interpret the graphs and give me the answer. But we're just going to have 3 really simple questions. I reckon one's going to be a multiple choice. And so we'll go to multiple choice first. Multiple choice are the easiest ones because you can mark them. You can mark very easily a multiple choice. So I'm just going to do, what is the sum of 5 and 8? Because we're doing some adding up. And then down here I just write my answers. So I'll go, let's go 12. Make it that times it, so that'll be 40. Even go 13, which is quite possibly the right answer, and I'll do a 4th one. I'll make it, they take it away and go 3. Beautiful. And then down here there's some advanced settings which are quite handy. These are just new. I can shuffle the order option. So that means if the students come back and do it over and over again, they don't have to, they kind of remember the pattern they've got. It'll just keep on changing these around. Make it a required question and go done. So I'm going to add 2 more questions now, and I'm just going to do Grab down, I'm going to do multiple choice, keep on doing the multiple choice. And notice once again I'm giving them 4 options. And one more question. So I've got them in here, and there's my 3 questions all done. Now, down the bottom here, you can show them a link to do another one, but I'd leave that off there because normally I put it in an email anyway. And then we're all done and dusted. So this form is ready to go. If you want to look at what it looks like live, click on View Live Form, and it comes to that. So first name, last name, and you've got these things here, and it's very good. When you submit it, it automatically goes to a spreadsheet. So let's just do a quick test. And put in 3 answers and go submit. And it will submit that form for us. Whoops, there it goes. And it says your response has been recorded. Great.